AI is already here, and if you're not using AI within your coaching business right now to build, grow, and drive it forward, the likelihood is you're already falling behind. But today is your lucky day, because what I'm going to be doing is I will literally be breaking down all the very best AI tools, which are worth your time, which are not, so you can use them to grow, build, and succeed with your coaching business, and quite literally get an unfair advantage of everyone else that are not using it, come up with content ideas, and everything like that. So I've put down some of the biggest AI tools and softwares in the space right now. I'll literally go through and rank every single one of them, and plus I'll give you the real behind the scenes insights as to how we are personally using this within my own business, which is doing multiple six figures per year. So you can literally see how it's been run at bigger scale, so you can take this, implement it, and drive and succeed and grow with your coaching business as well. So let's dive into the tier list. You'd see the apps at the bottom, and I'll go through and talk you through each one, give you my rationale, like where can you use it, how can you use it, ultimately so you can grow and drive and succeed with your coaching business as well. The very first one we have on the list is probably the most obvious one out of all of them. You heard AI, you probably think to yourself ChatGPT. It's gonna be a little bit of a obvious choice when we talk about ChatGPT, but I love ChatGPT. I really stand for it. I think there's so much you can do with it, so I have to put this in S tier. The reason I have to put it in S tier is for a few reasons. One of the biggest reasons it's on S tier is because it's so versatile. It can do so much, and what's amazing with it more than like many other platforms and stuff like this is that it literally remembers the stuff you speak into it. So if you've had a conversation with ChatGPT, or if you input something in like 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago, ChatGPT will remember that, and it will have it as stored kind of history and stored data to go off. So for example, if you are an online coach, you've talked about kind of the direction you want to take with your business 2 months ago into ChatGPT. When you ask it for content ideas today or tomorrow, it will remember what you inputted previously, and it will make it semi-specific. The biggest thing you need to keep in mind with ChatGPT is you just need to be very good at knowing how to ask the right questions to get this information across and get the answers that you need across. So that would be the first thing that I think is ultimately very, very important when it comes to ChatGPT. But the second one as well is to input more data than you think, and input more questions and more kind of data so it can go off. If you use ChatGPT like you would use Google, it's not going to give you that much context. It's not going to give you that much clear answers. But if you kind of ask it, for example, one thing we do with our clients is we have like master prompts that you can input into ChatGPT, and you can fill them out first. So really tell it about yourself, your tone of voice, who you want to work with, who you are as a person, what you believe in, what your business is about. And if you save that as one kind of big file and master prompt, and you fill it out in ChatGPT, it has stuff that it can reference and use moving forward to help you better, right? So just what I'd recommend doing, if you haven't already, is if you do want to use ChatGPT and you want to use it seriously, spend an evening or spend one weekend, one Saturday morning, for example, whenever you have free time, just to really prompt it, and just even sit down and just ask and talking to it and say, what do you need from me to best understand me when I need help with copywriting, content, sales, lead generation, whatever it might be. Like, what do you need to know from me? Be as in depth as possible. Once you have this, you can then have that reference and those data points for future. Like, one thing I personally do with ChatGPT is on a weekend, I would sit down every week and I'd input any call transcripts I've taken. So coaching calls with clients, sales calls, discovery calls, anything like that, like team calls as well. I'd input all of these calls into ChatGPT, and then whenever I need help for content, whenever I need help with anything like that, I would just ask it, and what's amazing is it'll bring stuff up that I've talked about in these calls with coaching clients. It'll bring things up, and it was like, you mentioned this before with a client, it might be good content, and I can then use that to kind of come up with recreate content, something that not many people think about, but it works really well. I don't want to spend too much on this, so ChatGPT S tier. The next one is Canva's AI tools in particular. I personally think it's good. I've not really kind of used it tons. I'll put this in C tier. Like, I think it's good. I've tried to use it. I haven't found the automatic presentations to be amazing. The editing on there, like being able to remove backgrounds and photo enhance and stuff like that, is really good. But some things like trying to come up with a presentation and just trying to get it to create it for you, I think still has a lot of work to do. So I'd personally use it just for graphics and stuff like that, but I wouldn't use it super heavy for like coming up with presentations or stuff like that. I just think it still has some way to go, right? That's why I'd put Canva in C tier, but I still use it all the time when it comes to the graphic side of things, right? The next one is Runway. Runway is very specific. So Runway is very good for certain stuff. For most of you listening to this, I think right now with where Runway is, it's probably a bit of a distraction. So just to give you some context, I'll put this first in the right category. I'll put this in B tier, and I'll give you some context. I've used Runway and I've played around with it a fair bit when it came to creating some ads and some content, right, to bring people into our Instagram. And it's very good for certain things. I still think like AI generated video content, it still feels a bit robotic, it still feels a bit alien, it still feels a bit weird. So you can use it for a lot of stuff like that, but if you're running a coaching business, I don't think you need to be kind of creating AI generated video content right now. If you have a lot of time on your hands, you can probably get it to look fairly decent, but I'd wonder what is the point of it right now. So that's why it's in B tier. It's okay if you're very skilled at it. If you're not, it's a bit of a distraction. But effectively, just so you have context as to what it does, is you can prompt it to create pictures and images just like you would for ChatGPT, and then you can get those pictures and pictures into videos. So you can get like for example, a ChatGPT image, you can make it to be moving its hand and talking and stuff like that, which is okay, but for most audiences, it just looks weird. It doesn't really make sense as to why you'd want to use that in your content. If you have a very specific goal for it, it might be good. Otherwise, it's probably not worth doing. The next one is Opus Clips. Opus Clips, I would again put into B tier. I think it's good for what it does. If you don't know what Opus Clips does, is if you have a lot of long videos, so for example you want podcasts, you can even probably use it if you have coaching calls with clients, and what it will do is if you just put that file into Opus, it will clip the file into short 30 to 90 second videos, which you can then use for short form content. It's good. I just wouldn't use it all the time, right, for content, just because it's not as engaging. It's not as good as if you just take your phone and just film a direct to video face to video content. So it's good. So I'd put in B tier. If you really desperately need content, I would use it, but I wouldn't use it as the only way of making content, right? So I'd put that in B tier. We have Zapier next. Zapier I'd put into A tier. Zapier is quite a boring AI automation and an AI tool. Just for context, if you don't know what Zapier does, is it will be able to link any bit of software or tools you have. So for example, if you have a client that pays you on Stripe, you can link Stripe to your email provider, for example. So this is what we teach our clients how to do. So if you send someone a payment link, like a client a payment link, the minute the payment is done, Zapier will detect the payment is done, and it will then speak to your email provider. So if you do email automations, right, it will speak to that email provider. So let's say I use ActiveCampaign. So let's just say ActiveCampaign. So me and my clients use ActiveCampaign. So he'll speak to ActiveCampaign. It will say, this guy's paid, this guy's paid, he needs to be sent this email, which the code that you've already created, it just links two softwares together. So if you think about it, it can pretty much do it for anything. So if there's any manual tasks in your business right now that you're constantly doing that you find yourself you could probably automate, Zapier could probably do that for you. And it means that you just set it up once and it's done, and it does it forever, right? So if you think about it, you could set up like every time someone books a call, if you use Calendly, for example, to book a call, Zapier could speak to Calendly in your call booking process and be like, this guy's just booked a call. Okay, he's booked a call. He now needs to go to the email tool to actually book a call, to be sent a video to watch, right? For stuff like this is very good, and you can link any two bits of software together. You could set up one where it's the most basic one would be like a payment link to like an email for an onboarding form, for example, but you could do it for like when someone books a call, it goes straight into to be sent a video for them to watch. Like, those are simple examples. Another one could be like if you have clients, for example, and you have like they check in through like a Google form or type form, you could have it where if they put a particular response in their type form and it's like they're not doing too well, it could go into somewhere else. It could send them a resource, or it could go take them to another software. So it's almost like the most equivalent way I could put Zapier at the moment and kind of compare it is it's very much like Sellotape or Glue, right? If you have like lots of different software using, but you're having to manually move people across and do different stuff, Zapier can basically do it for you and glue it together and buy you back like 5, 6, 7 hours every single week. We show our clients how to do that when they then jump on board, and honestly, just Zapier alone and just our videos on how to use Zapier and how to set it up with the templates probably saves them like 6 to 7 hours per week, which is wild. So it's a really good software. The next one is ManyChat. On here, ManyChat, I would have to put, and this is tough, man, this is tough. So I'd put ManyChat into B tier, why not? I think it's good. I'm still behind B and C. The reason I'm putting ManyChat in B tier at the moment is because it's good but for a lot of the coaches we work with, they don't really have enough people there to be messaging, or for ManyChat to be messaging. What it does really well is if you have like a video that blows up and lots of people are commenting a keyword. So here's an example. If you've just done a video which is, if you've done a video that's gone viral and the call to action of the video is comment below calories and I'll send you your calorie calculator, for example, ManyChat will automatically send a first message to the people messaging. It's good for that. The only thing I would keep in mind is at the beginning you probably have like 2 or 3 or 4 people messaging on a keyword on Instagram for something when you're starting out. So if you're only getting 2 to 5 people or 10 people even messaging on your comments, the time it will take you to set that automation up and set ManyChat up would be like, you'd be better off just manually messaging people, giving them the calorie calculator or whatever it might be. So just keep that in mind. I really like it for tracking leads and tracking conversations. So like you can label people in there really easily. So if you offer someone a call or someone inquires about your coaching, you can label them and you can filter. The inbox for that is phenomenal. I really like it for that, but for the automations, I think it has a time and place. You have a lot of followers and a lot of traffic and engagement and comments and stuff like that. So take it with a pinch of salt, right? Next one on here, we have CapCut. I'm putting CapCut on either A or B, A or S, and I'm torn. You know, like for all the downfalls that CapCut has and all the things that people complain about CapCut, it's a very simple software. It's a very simple process to use, and I still use it pretty much for all our kind of video editing, like even the YouTube videos, even the like viral videos that go really viral on Instagram, like all of these were edited through CapCut. I've paid like $300, $400, $500 for editing software before, like other softwares, but I've just found them like they take too long to do, or they're too complex, or there's too many moving parts. Whereas CapCut, the reason I like it is because it's simple. You can get a video done quickly and it still performs like at a very high capacity and a very high quality than if you just use like something really fancy, right? So that's why I'd put CapCut in S tier. Most people know how to use it and what it does. So yeah. Descript, I love Descript at the moment a lot. I gel with Descript a lot more than with Loom. So anytime a client signs up and they need anything critiqued or reviewed, I use Descript to film these videos, like these feedback videos, or when I'm reviewing content, when I'm speaking to clients, or when I'm reviewing like something like an onboarding form or something like that. I would use Descript. The reason I use Descript more than anything, more than even Loom, is because Descript I've never had any problems with. Like with Loom, sometimes what happens is I film a video and it doesn't like load, or the audio doesn't work on it. Like I just lose so much time and patience with it. With Descript, it's really good because it saves to your device, so there's less issues that can potentially go wrong with it. It also shows you the transcript, and I think there's also other stuff you can do, like edit videos to it as opposed to using CapCut. But yeah, I like it. That's why I put that in A tier. So if you use Loom and you get frustrated with it, just like I did, you might want to try Descript. I personally like it a lot more than Loom, my personal opinion, right? The next one we have is 11 Labs. I feel a little bit of pressure, by the way, because I've not put anything on F tier so far, so we'll see. 11 Labs, I would put into... I would put into C tier for 11 Labs. 11 Labs is one of the most accurate AI voice generators out there that I've ever seen. It's really accurate. Like it sounds really real when you hear someone speaking. It sounds really, really close to like a real person. So it's really good for that. But the reality is, and the only reason I put it in C tier is because I feel like for most personal training businesses and online fitness businesses, at the moment, it's a bit of a distraction. So the biggest stuff I would personally use 11 Labs for is if I need a new hook for a video. So if I feel like the hook of my original short video isn't that good, what I can do is go on 11 Labs, get one of their AI characters to re-ask me the question. So if I have a video and it's not that strong of a hook, I can go into 11 Labs, put one of the characters on there to ask me the question, make it very polarized and very attention grabbing. They ask me the question and it's a stronger hook and a stronger video, as opposed to me just starting the video without like a strong hook. So that's what I would personally be using 11 Labs for, but for most people it can be a bit of a distraction, so that's why I'd put that there. The next one we have is vidIQ. vidIQ is very good for certain stuff and very specific stuff. So vidIQ I personally also use, but at this stage on, I probably wouldn't recommend to clients to use. The only reason I'm going to be honest with you is I'm going to put in F tier is because I just feel like there should be at least one thing on F tier. But the only reason I put this in F tier is because it's a YouTube AI tool which would automatically filter what videos from other channels are doing the best in terms of views, in terms of titles, so you can recreate it. But if you're starting now, I don't think you need to worry about long form YouTube content. You should just nail Instagram short form content, build your coaching business to 5k per month with just short form and DMs and conversations. Once you have it to that point, then you can implement something long form like vidIQ. But if you're not to that point, don't worry about it. It's not a massive need, right? And the next one we have is Fathom. Again, Fathom is extremely versatile, and I would put that into A tier. The reason I'd put this into A tier is because I use Fathom to sit onto my calls. So coaching calls sit into my team calls as well. And the reason I like to have that sit there is because after the call, I can basically go in and take the transcript of these calls. And like I said at the beginning, I can put that into ChatGPT. Why that's very good is if I ever get stuck for content ideas, if I ever don't know what to talk about or where to go, I have a large bank of content which specifically came from my clients in terms of stuff they were struggling with in other programs, questions that they may have, stuff like that. And then I can take that and create viral worthy content from Instagram as well. So if you have fitness clients, you're speaking to them on calls, and you get stuck on content, it's an absolute, like literally a no-brainer not to have Fathom in your course, because it'll give you so many content ideas, specifically from stuff that people have told you on coaching calls, on sales calls, and it'll be amazing. The last one is, I don't actually know the name of this one, but it's called TikTok. I think it's called like TikTok Sorter, maybe. I would put this into B tier. What it does, for people that like don't know, it's a bit of a weird, it's a bit of a weird, sketchy app. But what it does is it will tell you, it'll filter any Instagram profile based on likes, comments, or saves. So when you go on Instagram, on your Instagram feed on your laptop, it will show you your, it could be your competitor. You can filter their entire page into the most liked or most commented or most viewed video that they've ever done. You can find the top performing videos. You can look at what hook they use, what body, like what was the lesson, what was the offer or call to action, and then you can recreate in your tone of voice. So it's really good if you get, again, if you get stuck with content ideas and you want more viral worthy content ideas, if you just find like a list of 10 people that maybe talk about fitness or coaching or training, nutrition, mindset, whatever your kind of business pillars are. If you find those, you can literally go onto TikTok feed, Sorter I think it's called. It will do this for TikTok but also for Instagram. It will literally show you what content performs, what content doesn't, and you can basically recreate it in your own tone of voice afterwards. So that's why I put that so high. If I had to change anything in this tier list, I feel like we should have more things on the F tier just to make this video a bit more engaging, right? But if I had to change anything, I'd maybe move, with hindsight, I'd maybe move Canva. I'd maybe move Canva to an F tier, and I'd maybe move this one a bit higher. The only reason I would is like I love Canva. I think it's great, but I don't think the AI tools that they have, like the AI presentation and creating that, is that good. The Canva itself, like creating graphics, pictures, whatever it might be, is very good, but it's not like an AI software tool in my opinion at this stage. I'd put that there. Anything else I'd maybe change is Runway is very good for what it does, don't get me wrong, but it's a distraction for most coaches, hence why I'd put that a little bit lower. Everything else in here, I am rather quite happy with, right? Let me just have a look through. I think everything else I'm quite happy with. I think there's not really anything else that needs to be changed. Yeah. So the ones I'd really recommend is ChatGPT and CapCut. You probably use them, but you could maybe use them better. If you want an entire video, by the way, as well, on like how to optimize ChatGPT and how to use it, it's a topic that I've studied a ton and I know a lot about. So if you want one like that, just comment below and let me know and I can film it. The only other thing I could think of in this video that I forgot to mention is there's one more AI tool I use, which we forgot to put on here. The last one I'd put, or the last one I'd recommend looking into, is an app called Captions. It's on the App Store. It's very, very good for actually coming up with really good videos edited for short form videos. If you need to put like subtitles and like have them change and be quite engaging, I'd highly recommend looking into an app called Captions just for the subtitles and the way the captions look and stuff is very good. So I'd recommend using, if you want to edit your videos really engagingly and keep them going viral, just like mine do and our clients do. The two apps I'd recommend is CapCut, and then the one on the App Store is called Captions. Recommend both highly, and you can win. If you found this video helpful, it's a very different format to what I usually do. Make sure to hit like, make sure to hit subscribe, and keep this video to yourself as well, because don't share it with other personal trainers and coaches, because you share these tools with them, they're also going to grow and they're going to give you more competition for your business as well. So yeah, take this video, hope you find it useful, and if you want more videos like this, tier list, or more AI topics or whatever it might be, make sure to hit like and subscribe so I know, and I'll see you in the next one.